morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into your Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We love getting to be here with you each and every weekend morning, so you can tune in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starting at 7 a.m. I'm your host, Maddie Evans, and we've got a really fun show in store for you for the next little bit, so we hope that you pull up a cup of coffee, you sit down, you relax, and you stay tuned because we've got a lot going on. So we've been swarmed with Sundance festivities right now. Well, we're going to introduce you to a really great filmmaker of a movie that is going to be premiered over the course of the weekend, and that's called Invisible Beauty. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that, as we're going to premiere it in just we're going to introduce you to the people premiering it in just a little bit. And then we're going to talk all things children's habits with CoComelon. So if you've not heard of that and you've got a young one at home, well, this is really going to help you kind of make your routines a little bit better. But let's talk about all things Sundance. Did you know that Sundance started in 1985, and since then hundreds of films have been launched and at the festival, and they have gone on to gain critically acclaimed and reach new audiences around the world. So we're going to sit down, like I said, with one of the filmmakers and talk about it. And so we're going to bring you that interview later into the show. But then if you are making your way around Park City and you are going to drive, make sure that you remember that they are alternating the flow of traffic and several of those roads in Old Town Park City, so that you can maybe hopefully avoid some of that notorious traffic. So just be cautious of that as you're getting out there and you're going to go check out all the fun. Now, if you're looking to go see some live music, today starting at 3 p.m. at the Chase Sapphire Lounge, you can go and enjoy some great music brought to you by Utah-based singer Alicia Stockman, and like I said, she's going to start at 3 p.m. and then this is part of the festival festivities, so make sure that you go check that out. Now, if you're looking to go maybe enjoy some free music, well, then you can make your way over to the base of the canyons today to that nice little Canyons Village, and you can enjoy some great live music. This is going to start at 4 p.m. Again, the show is free, and it's Shannon Runyon and the Mandemic. So make sure that you go check this out. It's going to be a ton of fun, and that's such a beautiful place to just go hang out. I hope that you're going to get out there and enjoy the snow a little bit today as well, because it has been so amazing. But speaking of the snow, let's take a look at that local weather forecast so you know what to expect for the weekend.
This resort report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
New routines, and especially if you have those little ones at home, there's a great show to help your little ones develop those routines, and that's CoComelon. And I've got Liliana Vasquez joining me, and she has been a force in the TV industry, but you are one who really likes CoComelon to help with your routines at home.
I do. I am a new mom. I'm a first-time mom. I have an 18-month-old, so we are deep in the CoComelon world, and I have loved it because it's not only a great way for him to learn numbers and sounds and colors, but it's also an amazing opportunity for us to teach and play as a family. We watch it together. We sing the songs in the car together, and I love the CoComelon community, and we just did an amazing study that found that 74% of parents think that establishing routines with their kids can feel like a battle. I am part of that 74%. So I'm so excited to share some of the insight that we found in this amazing study.
So let's talk about some of this insight, because the statistics behind the help and really the structure that CoComelon helps form are so prevalent and so there that it's really incredible to see these statistics.
It really is. You know, when you think about this, 73% of parents think that their kids can actually learn good habits from characters on TV shows. And more than half of parents actually use songs and nursery rhymes as a tool to help children follow these really good routines. And thanks to CoComelon and anyone that's ever watched it, there is a song and an episode for every single routine, even the really hard ones like bedtime and bath time. And parents with kids who actually watch CoComelon are not only more likely to implement successful routines with their children, like brushing your teeth and bath time, but also follow more of them than those that don't watch CoComelon. So if you are a parent and you are struggling with any of these, if you start listening to these CoComelon songs, like Bath Song, which is a massive favorite among parents, I promise it makes things so much easier. And CoComelon parents agree with me. They think that bath is actually one of the easiest routines in their household versus parents that don't watch Bath Song or listen to Bath Song. They think that can actually be one of the more challenging routines. So starting routines with your children, teaching them the songs, teaching them the lyrics can really help set you up for success.
Now, there are a lot of shows out there like this that are structured to help kids kind of create those routines and learn. What do you think makes CoComelon stand out so much from the other ones?
Absolutely. Well, great question. I think for me, it's watching my child be able to learn what he's hearing and learn about what he's seeing. It's the colors, it's the tone, it's the inflection, it's the pacing of the show. I mean, I'm somebody that works in television. I know how important pacing is. And this show is really designed to help preschoolers learn. And that's what I love about it. So whether you're listening to the songs or reading the books, the characters are so engaging. They're made simple so that your children can really connect with them. And I think that's what makes CoComelon so different. And obviously, the fact that it's about this opportunity to teach and play as a family and co-watch these shows together or co-learn through the books and reading, it's an amazing opportunity to build, quality time as a family. And I think that's what makes CoComelon so different.
Now, you've talked so much about your personal experience and how this has helped you. Now, what's the number one trick that CoComelon has really helped you and kind of that little routine that you guys have needed, except for the bath time one?
Great question. So brushing teeth. I have a toddler who does not like to brush his teeth. I took him to the dentist and she was like, Mom, you got to work on it. So what did I do? I literally put on a CoComelon episode. This is the way we brush our teeth is the song that we sing over and over again. And I'm not saying that it has made my child love to brush his teeth because he's difficult and he can have an opinion, but it has made it so much easier. Something about me singing the song takes his mind off of me literally brushing his teeth. And then the best is he's trying to sing it while I'm brushing his teeth, and it extends the routine. But I guarantee you, my child is going to go back and visit the dentist and she's going to be so impressed with the quality of his teeth because we have made toothbrushing so much easier just by listening to This Is the Way.
I think that's so incredible, and what a great way to build core memories, not only for him as he grows into these routines that are probably going to stick with him with the songs and everything, but a great way for you to build those core memories to hold on to with your child as well.
Absolutely. Routines can be hard. And I know that at the end of the day, parents are tired, kids are tired. So we want to bring as much goodwill and positivity into these hard routines. And that's an easy thing to do, is to establish these routines with these awesome CoComelon songs.
Now, if people are interested in getting involved in the CoComelon community to help use it to build child routines at their home, what's the best way for them to find it?
Oh my gosh, my favorite way to connect with other parents is via CoComelon's Instagram or TikTok. There is a community of parents and kids waiting there for you that are like-minded with tons of hacks and tips for really establishing routines and just building a better structure in your own family.
And now if people are interested in streaming CoComelon, where can they find it to stream it?
You can find it on YouTube.
Which makes it nice and convenient and easy, especially if you're always on the go, and that way you can put it on in the car if you need to.
Absolutely. You can find CoComelon pretty much everywhere at this point.
Liliana, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and thank you for being so genuine and transparent through your parenting journeys. I know that there are some struggles when it comes to this, and so we just want to say that we see you and we appreciate all that you do.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Make sure that if you have a child at home and you're looking to build those routines in a way where it's positive and fun, that you check out CoComelon, because it's going to be one of those things that's definitely going to help you improve those bedtime routines, those bath time routines, or those brushing your teeth routines. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned. With Sundance right around the corner, there's so many inspirational films that you're going to want to get out there and see, one of them being Invisible Beauty, which is all about Beth Ann Hardison and her amazing journey through being a revolutionary in the fashion industry, and of course one of her wonderful co-directors with her, Frederick Chang. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Well, thank you for having us.
I would just like to ask, only because Frederick and I had a chance to talk a little bit about it off camera, how you guys came to meet to bring this wonderful film to life.
Well, Frederick, continue your conversation.
Okay, I'll just say it again. We met in 2014. We go a little bit back. Well, Beth Ann was receiving this award, this fashion award from the CFDA for her work, advocacy work. And I was approached to collaborate on a short film, a little short film that would come on, on stage before Beth Ann received the award. And so that was my first introduction to Beth Ann, and I was captivated because I got to interview her one afternoon, and the story of her life, her work was just so vast, and the personality and just the way she was telling the story was just so interesting and so captivating. So we kept in touch over the years, and that's how I found out about Invisible Beauty, this film that Beth Ann had been working on already for quite some time, and it was dormant. So that was my first introduction to the project.
Exactly. That's exactly. You told it quite right, accurately so. And it's true that it became like when you say things just were meant to happen, and this is exactly what happened with Frederick and I. It really was meant to happen because I was, like stirring in a pot, figuring, how am I going to get this film done? And he came along and he convinced me that already I had begun to think the film has to be about me instead of another subject I was trying to tell. And I'm very happy that we made it happen.
Now, Beth Ann, as we kind of did the introduction, you are someone who has revolutionized the fashion industry only because you are such an activist in so many ways. So what was it like throughout your career wearing so many different hats?
Oh, well, that's, listen, when you don't have, when you're a master of none, it's very easy to wear different hats. You just, it's just things that are called, you're capable of doing many things and you just wind up doing it. You think, if you had one particular thing that you were great at, and this is what you knew was your profession, then you don't wear a lot of hats. But when you're, like you come on this earth and you're just like flowing, and you just wind up doing different things you're capable of doing and things that you're meant to do, so there's no trying to figure it out. It just is that, you just put one foot in front of the other.
And I recently just read an incredible Vogue article that came out about this time last year. So do you think that your younger self would have ever seen you making these accomplishments throughout your career?
Oh, absolutely. Well said. Good question. No, absolutely not. I'm still impressed that I'm making them now. I'm looking back at myself thinking, oh my God, Jesus, can you believe? And especially when I see the film. Seeing the film really reminded me of who I was just 20 years ago. Because and now I'm in a different position. Now I'm doing something, rolling the ball in a different direction. So I wouldn't have thought it as my younger self, no. But I knew as my younger self, I was always active and moving and doing things all the time. But I would never have imagined this.
And Frederick, what has it been like working with such a power in this fashion industry and such a force to be reckoned with through all of the incredible work that Beth Ann has done?
It was humbling, I would say, because when you speak to everyone that Beth Ann has encountered in her life, and when you start realizing really the impact, because I knew, as I said, like I interviewed Beth Ann a long time ago, and so I knew the trajectory of the life, but to really hear everyone talk about the ramification of like her impact and what she's done for people's lives all over the globe, really. By the end, I was kind of humbled, and I felt like a sense of responsibility to tell that story right, you know, to first and foremost make Beth Ann proud and to not kind of like mess it up, because I felt like an incredible story that really deserved an incredible film. So it put the bar very high, but Beth Ann puts the bar very high, I think, for herself. And when you're around her, you just really want to also be at that level.
Now, if you had to give someone like a brief little synopsis on the things in this film that really stand out, what would you give them, Frederick?
So many things. As you said, Beth Ann has worn so many hats as a model, as a modeling agent with her groundbreaking agency, and then as an activist and advocate. I would say, like, for me, what really stood out and what people are really going to, I think, discover is a sort of untold chapter in the history of the fashion industry and the modeling industry, especially. You know, in the late 90s and 2000s, there was a whitewash of the modeling industry where after the Soviet bloc opened, there was a focus on Russian models and Eastern European models, and the model of color got displaced in a way that, far, far from the golden age that Beth Ann had experienced before. And that's the story we're telling in the film, in the second act. And I think for many people, it was just a discovery. It's just a chapter that's not talked about enough. And I think we really it was important for us to really bring that to light and for people to understand how that shift happened and what role Beth Ann played in that shift.
Now, Beth Ann, if there was a girl who was watching this interview right now who had a desire to become part of the fashion industry, what piece of advice would you give her to keep persevering through the challenges?
Well, I'm not someone who encourages people to model. So I would always say if it's a girl who has an idea, or girl or guy, if they would like to, I always think we always need people behind the scenes. And a lot of people think that, oh my God, I want to be in front because that's what you see. But I always say that, being in the model industry is not so easy. It's very hard. It's challenging beyond, and it takes a certain kind of person to put up with it. You have to also be the person that they want in it in order for you to even have a ride. So that's a little difficult. What I would say to anyone who really wants to do anything, no matter what it is, no matter what I even say, is that you really need to do your homework. You really need to recognize what it is that it takes to do something or be involved with something, what's required. And it's not just the physical, it's the stamina, the mental and emotional stamina. But also, if you really want to do something, just really recognize and learn a lot more about it before you step into it. I know right now everything is very, very easy. You just step in front of a camera, whether it be TikTok or a person's iPhone, and get pictures done and be known and get to be seen. And that's one way, but that's not the world I come from. So if you can make it that way, right on. Good luck out there, I would say. Ride 'em, cowboy.
That's a solid saying right there. I love the ride of cowboy, and especially with the points that you're coming from, because you were in this industry for over 50 years, and it's not easy. It's a tooth and nail kind of industry, whether you're in front of the scenes or behind the scenes. And I think right now, after the few years that we've recently experienced here with COVID and everything else that's taken place, I think that this is the perfect time for this film to come out, to just really give people that inside look, give them that information of how challenging something so glamorous can actually be.
Well said. Look at you. I'm impressed. Well said. No, that's very good. I really appreciate you saying it that way. And I hope that it is true. There are people who have said when they saw the film, our agents, for instance, they really felt this was a timely film. They thought it has more hope than a lot of things you see. And it gives you walk away feeling like, wow, good. You feel, so it's almost like a feel-good film. And when I've heard people say that, I go, really? Well, that's wonderful. Thank you for your thoughts on that, because you're a youthful person and you get it. That's nice.
I want to thank you guys both so much for taking the time to meet with me, chat with me, and not only that, but really inspire me. Whether I was reading your articles or whether just talking to you, I feel like I've learned so much just in this short time that I cannot wait to see this film.
Thank you so much. I'm happy, and I look forward for you to tell us when you think of it, when you see us, and you must look for us.
I will definitely look for you. Thank you guys again so much. Frederick, thank you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, TVA. Bail.
Make sure that you check out the Sundance Film Festival and you keep your eye out for Invisible Beauty, because it's going to be one of those movies that changes the way you think about the fashion industry. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back from the break, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned. We want to thank you so much for tuning into this Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. Make sure that you tune in each and every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starting at 7 a.m. I'm your host, Maddie Evans, and now I am so amazed by the story of Invisible Beauty and how they brought that to life. I also think that this is such a crucial time for a film like this to come out, to really just show the trials, tribulations, and struggles that could be taking place. So make sure that you make your way over to all of the great film premieres and you watch some of these incredible artists, and you take the time to get to meet and chat with some of them, because they are phenomenal at what they do. Again, we want to thank you so much, and if you're starting to build those routines at home, make sure that you use CoComelon as a great resource for those little tykes that you have running around. Again, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to Wasatch Weekends for your Friday edition. Make sure that you get out there, you soak up the sunshine, you do your snow dances, you bring all of that beautiful weather that we know and love here in Utah completely out. Get out there and have a great Friday, everyone.